Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Idaho Business Podcast. I hope you're all just killing it this week, starting off this week with a bang, and you're just happy as ever, happy to be alive. Like we always say in this show, there's thousands of people in this world that don't ever get to wake up this morning. So just because you have that ability and you got that gift to wake up this morning and to take a breath of that fresh air, that fresh Idaho air, have some gratitude in your mind and your heart, and know that, you know what, whatever you're up against today, whatever have, wow, if I could gather my thoughts today, whatever you're up against today, you have the power behind you to conquer it. The power behind you is greater than the obstacle ahead of you. I think Elder Oaks said that, one of the apostles of the LDS Church. And man, you got to understand that, man, you have such power behind you. So know that you have strength behind you. Last week, but before we get into last week a little bit, we're sponsored by my company, New Clean Commercial Cleaning. And if you need any janitorial assistance without any high pressure sales garbage from me or anyone else in my staff, give us a call, 208-254-7070. And just by saying you heard about us on the podcast, we'll give you a free, I'm saying this, free, no strings attached, carpet cleaning under 5,000 square feet, absolutely for free. Just give us a call, say you heard about us on the podcast. That's the offer for New Clean. Last week, we talked about efficiency. Efficiency is the definition that I like right now, is accomplishing more by doing less. For yourself, doing less personally. And that's something you should also be trickling down to your management teams and people below you as well. Because the true definition of a well-oiled machine of your company or your teams is if a member can step away for a vacation or anything like that, and their group or their team doesn't miss a beat. They're not left out hanging. They're not left wondering what they need to do or what to accomplish. You're not picking up a lot of extra slack because they have systems in place. So I hope you found ways to accomplish more by doing less last week. And hopefully you can do that, like we said last week in those episodes, was finding things that you're doing over and over again. That's the low-hanging fruit, finding the things that you're doing over and over again that's taking up your time and finding ways to automate things. Either hiring a virtual assistant, hiring or offloading it onto someone else that you'll have in your staff, but by thin slicing things as best you can. And today, I want to move on a little bit more and talk more about tracking. And I know, in our current economic environment, we've talked about this before. It's easy to get down. Oh, I can't hire. Oh, it's hard right now with, trying to get sales for my company, whatever it is. I've heard it all. With multiple types of businesses and sectors out there, services and products, I've heard it all. And how do you really know? Obviously, you may know from, you're looking from year over year numbers, just in general, maybe gross revenue, maybe your P&L, Those are some good indicators. Okay. But to really dissect things a little bit better, how do you really know? How do you know that hiring is so much worse than it was before? How do you know that you're not having as good of luck with sales than it was before without tracking? And what I'm saying is, let's take hiring for example. When you're posting a job on Indeed, let's hope you're doing that. If you've been listening to this podcast and you're still putting a sign on your door saying hiring, and putting that posting, that's your only job posting, is on your door or on your marquee, jeez. It's time to get with the times, people. Use Indeed, use Facebook, get out of your own way. I think ISU even has a system called Handshake, that it's all online. You can even go after the students over there and post jobs on their student job board called Handshake. There's things that you can think outside the box and get applicants. Anyways, post job. Number one, easy as that. Put some money behind it. Sprinkle a little fairy dust. Put some money behind that job posting. And number one, see how many applicants are coming across. Okay. Track how many applicants are coming across. Okay, cool. Then track how many people are actually showing up for interviews. Okay, cool. Track how many people you're actually hiring out of those interviews. Cool. Track how many people are staying. How many people you're firing. So you can understand, how long they're staying and all that kind of stuff. But if you're not tracking that kind of stuff, how many applicants you need to get it, how many the interviews you need to get how many hires you need, you won't understand. You won't understand where you're at. So that is the key. I know with my company, with some of my coaching that I'm a part of, typically we're happy with a 10% show rate with people who sign up for our interviews. Now that's a standard of what they think is acceptable. I think I'm not fully happy with a 10% show rate. And these are people that are applying for our jobs on Indeed. We have an automated system. So we take them from Indeed and we try to get them to automate and sign up for our interviews. And then from people that apply to sign up to actually show up to these interviews, it's incredible. We have, it probably takes, in just general terms, if we have 50 applicants, we might have 15 people actually sign up for interviews. Out of those 15 people, maybe 5 will show. And out of those 5, you might get 3 really good people to hire. And out of those 3, you might get 3 to stay for the week. But then after a week, 1 will probably leave. So if you're tracking all that kind of stuff, you'll understand where you're at and where you're going. So if you're tracking that year after year, month after month, then you can start seeing a trend. You can start seeing how much, okay, I'm spending this much in it at Indeed, I'm spending this much on Facebook. You can do the same thing when it comes to sales. Tracking, this is how much I'm spending on Google. This is how much I'm spending on Facebook. This is how much I'm spending on Instagram, wherever you're finding success. And sales, it's a different beast. Obviously you got to find the medium that works best for you. Not every medium is perfect for each business. I found that Facebook isn't really the best for what I do. Google is better for what I do. And I don't always have success with, the first time I run an ad on Google, but you find You run it for a week, 7 days, and then you look at the data behind that, and you see, okay, what's the click-through rate? What's the data behind all that? And then you obviously you get people, if you don't understand this, like I don't fully understand it, so I have people that help me with this. You should too. You tweak the ad until you start seeing better and better results, and until you start seeing people follow through and click into and schedule, sales appointments or whatever it is that you're trying to get them to funnel into until you see results. All that stuff should be tracked. So then when it comes down to, your gloom and doom moments, and you're saying, oh man, and this October or this September just is horrible compared to last October to September. Well, if you've been tracking for a year, then you can actually go back a full year and say, well, let's really dive deep here and see if what I'm feeling emotionally is actually correct. Because sometimes, and I'll tell you right now, most of the time it's just your emotions. Sometimes it's correct, but most of the times it's your emotions playing tricks on you because you had a bad week, you had a few people quit, you had a few clients go by the wayside, and you're just trying to get a few people going with some new sales, and you're just down. But I'm telling you, if you're tracking this kind of stuff, you can go back and say, all right, this is my true data. And I can go back and say, all right, this is where I was at. And maybe I'm off a little bit. And why am I off? Am I spending a little less than I was last October or last September in these avenues? And if so, why? Why am I spending less? Let's bring this up, because if I bring this up and my numbers go back to where they were, cool, with hiring or with sales. With sales, if I have a lead that cost me 50 cents or a lead that cost me $1.50, do I cut the one that cost me $1.50 and stay with the one that cost me 50 cents? Or do you keep both of them? You keep both of them, because they're both going to make you money. So you don't bite the arm that feeds you. So these are the things you get to realize as you're tracking your results, as you're putting these things together. So I'm hoping these things are helpful to you as you're continuing down your path to success this week, as you're trying to tweak your efficiency in your business, as you're trying to better yourself as a business owner, as a business leader. Start with some efficiency, better your efficiency, and find that tracking power that's going to make you more efficient and give you true data and true power behind what you're feeling. And when you're feeling down in the dumps, you can really go back and say, okay, this is just my emotions. This is not reality. So this is the stuff that this is the stuff that can pull you out and say, all right, I'm doing just fine. I'm the company's we're still doing just fine. So that's the thing you got to worry about sometimes, is your emotions can pull you down when you're really not down. So don't let that stuff play tricks on you when your company's just doing just fine. So track the stuff, get your data in check, and have that stuff so you can go forward and have success. Hopefully that's helpful for you today. Hopefully I didn't bumble through this too bad today. And if you see any of these or hear any of these, obviously, depending on what avenue you're watching or listening, episodes that are helpful to you or helpful to one of your colleagues or friends or family members, share with them. That's the way we grow this podcast. Share these episodes. That's helpful to you, to your colleagues, and to me. So that would be great. So As always, go out there and conquer your day. Stay away from those negative Nancy's, and just go out there and kill it, guys and gals. You guys are awesome. Until next week, adios.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.